Moa.
Yep.
He was such a mystery last year, and talking to Harsh down in Vegas in media days, it sounds like he's, I don't know if back's the right word, but I mean, is he, what are you expecting out of him this year?
Big things from David Moa, I really do. And I tell him that, I tell him to other people. I mean, obviously with coming off such a big injury like he did, we were smart with, how we brought him back, and Coach Pitt and Connor and the rest of our trainers did a phenomenal job with understanding how we can get him. But he's without question the strongest he's ever been. Not even close. He's 285, strong, and he's now, I mean, I just saw videos of him doing stuff on the field and moving and striking and bursting. Obviously, we got to be smart with him because he's not only one of our best players on our team and in our conference, but you come off an injury that you just got to be smart and get his strength back to where it needs to be.
Sure.
That's the big thing. But he's going to, I expect big things from David, and obviously being smart that of how we use him in fall camp and the reps he gets, but I mean, I don't shy away, and I tell him this. I don't shy away from the fact that how you do rehab, how you train, how you practice. Like, I need to see a 2017 David Moa and some.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
Yeah. I mean, can he be the game changer that a lot of people the
can
last
be.
couple of years have expected him to be?
Yeah. He really can. And a lot of that is up to how he handles business in every area of life. I mean, he's going to graduate this semester. He had a great semester academically. And I tell those guys too, BJ, a lot, like, you can't tell me I want to coach, I want to be first team all Mountain West. And this isn't David, but I want to be this guy, but then you don't do your classwork the right way, you don't handle business in these other areas. You can't just pick one area of life to compete in. Like, you're either a competitor and you're a winner, or you're not. Like, it's not,
Sure.
I'm going to pick and choose when I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on Saturday nights in the fall. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so with David, it's been phenomenal to see, just because even when I wasn't coaching him, he was such a big leader of our defense, such an awesome, and I worked so much with the front.
Yeah.
He was just a guy I loved. Also a guy from San Diego, and just cool to see our relationship come together. And see, I mean, that dude's a leader on this defense. I mean, without question. David Moa tells you something, it's like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Period.
So it sounds like he'll be out there tomorrow, and you're just going to kind of bring him along, knowing that the end is Florida State, not next Saturday.
Exactly. We're gonna be smart, but he's gonna go through individual drills.
Okay.
He's gonna go through them, and then we're gonna be smart as the weeks go to we're gonna get him 10 reps in team, we're gonna get him 15 reps in team, we're gonna get him 20 or 10, depending on how he feels and what he does. But he's gonna get going.
I mean, he was a guy that after that big year he had, people were already putting him on NFL draft boards.
There's no
and
question.
stuff.
I remember it.
Yeah.
After 17, it was like, 16.
Yeah.
And then 17 even more, and so that's why. But I think in this whole thing, obviously injuries, you don't wish them on your worst enemy, but it's cool to see how he's at a point now where it's like, man, I got one more year and I'm gonna let it hang out. And his exact words, I'm gonna put all my chips on the table. I'm gonna do this for my brothers on the team. I'm gonna do this for my family, and I'm gonna let it all hang out. And so it's been cool to see how he trains, and everything he does shows that. You know what I mean? He's that guy that, he walks in a room and lights up a room. And he's the same way with our defense. He walks around and says, hey guys, we need to do blank. Done.
With Chase Atata then, he's kind of bounced around. He seems like the fit to fill in for Duran. Is that kind of where you have him
exactly? Yep.
slated in?
So Chase is going to start at defensive end.
Okay.
And he's had a phenomenal offseason too. Extremely violent with his hands, and he's moving better than I've ever seen him move. He's probably right around 265, 270, and he can strike, can run, can rush. And so the awesome thing about Chase, and you hit the nail on the head, BJ, he can do both. He's played tackle because he's so violent, and DM, but we obviously have some really good D tackles with David, Louie, Manny, Scale, that it's going to be cool for Chase to focus on defensive end initially, along with Matt Locker, Jabari, and then a couple of our young guys are going to be pretty good too.
Yeah. How do you figure out the inside there? Because at one point, David moved over when he was, and then because of Sonatane fitting in there. How do you kind of see the nose tackle, D tackle spot going?
It'll be interesting, man. We're going to compete in fall camp now. Because nose, like Scale, Emmanuel, those are primarily nose guards. Just because of who they are and how they can strike, they're perfect for that position. A 0 or a 2-eye or that world. Where Louie and David, they can do both.
Okay.
And so how we're going to use them and rotate them and create the best plan is exciting.
Okay, so if theoretically Louie and David are the two best,
they're right there. They're going to play. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And if you're going to rotate and do something different, it might be Scale with David than Louie with Manny, or vice versa. So you can find different ways and matchups because those guys they're really both swing tackles.
Okay.
And then Matt Locker and Jabari Watson are both going to get DN and D tackle reps too.
Okay.
And so it'll be cool to see how it all and like I said, we got a really good plan for him. But to see, hey man, because really, you know, it is a front with those front four.
Yeah.
You need a really good 2 deep, sometimes even sprinkled in the third for pass rush situations and whatnot.
But David's mostly just going to be you're not going to mess with him at nose then? Or?
No, probably not right now. I mean, like I said, depending.
Because the big year he had, he was actually
at nose.
Yeah.
And so, really, I mean, that's why him and Louis, and I told them both this, they're both going to be swing.
Okay.
Because so much of this, it's similar techniques. So, hey, you're doing this from an inside shade or an outside shade. He can do it both ways. And so if Louis is playing really well and for some reason he's playing really good at D-tackle, hey, David, try some nose, then you and Scale and Manny can get some reps here.
What is the potential for a guy like Scale that came in as a true freshman and got his feet wet a little bit? What are you expecting out of him?
Scale's a phenomenal kid. Love him. And I really do think the sky's the limit for Scale again. I mean, loves Boise State. I mean, he jokes around all the time that he bleeds blue more than anybody on the team, and he might. And he's that guy. He's just a phenomenal kid, infectious personality, and he is one of those just phenomenal athletes where he's 300 pounds, but his feet moves and plants and drives like he's almost a linebacker, you know, and he's violent with his hands. He's the strongest he's ever been too. Coach Pitt's done a phenomenal job with the defensive line and linebackers to get those guys moving. Coach Gale, Coach Bray, I mean, they've done a phenomenal job. And so, to answer your question, BJ, really excited. Obviously, just like anything, he's just coming off his freshman season. He's got a lot of stuff he needs to get better at, you know, and I tell him that, like guys, Scale, because a lot of people do talk about Scale because he's an athletic kid. He played in games, did a good job. But just like everybody else, just like David, Louis, Scale, Chase, these guys, he just needs to keep growing. And so that's and I was telling Rachel this, is my big thing for those guys this camp is just humble and hungry, man. Like if we can do that and we can have the mentality, like we got 5 or 6 seniors on the front four.
Yeah.
Like there's guys leaving. So if you're not a senior, like you owe it to these guys. Like, and if you're gonna come out and not handle business, like you're being a traitor to your own brothers in this room now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the message I'm giving them. Like, you better lay it on the table because this is their shot.
I know Steve Caldwell would joke like that you need to have three sets to rotate in. And 2's nice. I want 3, but I mean, do you feel like you got enough depth where you guys can roll a couple lines in and you won't really lose a lot?
That's the plan. Absolutely. I do. To answer your question, BJ, I do. Now, there's certain positions that are certain guys that maybe are better than others, and you got to be intentional of how you're rotating them. But those guys, and then another one that's, I mean, Scott Matlock, who's a local kid. I mean, he had a really good spring ball, and he's grown up because he needed to mature, and he matured a ton over the summertime, and he is moving and looking good. He's probably 285. Wow. So he's also a guy in that D-tackle that don't forget about Scott Matlock.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be a player for us now.
And I guess final thing for me, but what just for you, switching positions and stuff, what's it been like working with a new group of guys? I know a lot of them said they were working with you some anyway at times, but what's it like just kind of having a new position and new group?
Yeah, it's been awesome, BJ. I mean, at first, obviously, coaching, the studs, and I love those guys dearly, and it was like, and, I've never coached defensive line before, but working with those guys has been awesome. I mean, the 15 dudes in that room have opened their arms to me, and I leave those meeting rooms. I'm that weird guy that's like, boys, I love you. And if they don't tell me I love you back, I check them. I'm like, you better come back here, give me a hug. You know what I'm saying? And so it's been awesome to have those guys, and it's been cool how we've been able to work different things where I still get my time with Kerr, Mitri, and those different guys, Sam, because of how much 4-down stuff we do. So it's been really a best of both worlds situation, man. It's been awesome, and I love that group. I really do.
So are you doing run game stuff too then, or what else? What in terms of co-coordinator? What else have you added in?
Yeah, and I've told you, I mean, the big thing is, me and Schmedding just get together on pretty much almost everything. And it's like, obviously he's like, hey, I like this, and he's like, can we get this in? I'm like, yep. And then we'll look at things. I'll be like, I like this, and so we've really kind of tag teamed the majority of everything from installs to what we're doing in fall camp, and it's just been awesome to get his perspective because he's coached safeties, linebackers, been defensive coordinator for 4 years that were really successful at Eastern Washington. A lot of what they did was very similar to what we did here. And so it's cool to see things that we're going to continue to do, and then some little things that he did there that he's like, hey, I want to do this. What do you think? And it's like, dude, that fits perfectly in this box, So it's been awesome to to do stuff together. And so obviously as the season goes, BJ, what is that? Because so many people, what's a co-coordinator mean? And I just tell people, man, whatever I can do to help Schmedding. I mean, and obviously it's been cool to have more leadership amongst the defense, and to be able to grab someone from another position at one point. Not even so much call them out if they're doing something wrong, maybe it's just give them a hug, you know, and have more leadership in that way. It's been awesome.